In today's video, I'm going to discuss two topics. First, Medicare, which I know a lot about, and second, politics. Unfortunately, I think I am like many people in America, just tired of it all. Anyway, we can't completely separate the two, and I'll discuss how it can affect you. Welcome everyone, my name is J.O. I am the author of this book, Maximize Your Medicare, Amazon.com. Anywhere you can buy a book, it is a published book. I think it's like on fire sale for like $8 or something like that. Here on your screen is an NPR article about why Medicare is suddenly in the crosshair of the political fire. It's been an incredible 3 months. We have seen headline after headline after headline regarding Medicare, Medicare Advantage. We see politicians throwing mud balls at each other, accusing each other of trying to strip away Medicare, which is one of the most popular, highly regarded, valuable benefits that our government provides. Let's take a look at the article itself. You can see here that this is actually kind of a transcript of a podcast between NPR and Julie Rovner of Kaiser Health News. Kaiser and Commonwealth Fund are a very important set of resources for information, including to myself. That said, I'm not going to say that I agree with every statement. I am the qualified to opine. Let's take a look. What's the issue here? Medicare trustees said within 6 years are going to run out of reserve, won't be able to pay its current benefits. When I wrote Maximize Your Medicare, there were basically two reasons. Number one, people didn't understand financial contracts. Health insurance is a financial contract, of which Medicare is a specific type of health insurance. That is what commands all of the attention, right? There's a second set, which is the inevitability as a result of demographic and fiscal reality. The fact is that the Medicare system has 65 million existing beneficiaries, 10,000 people a day, and next year, 2024, is going to be the year when more people turn 65 years old than any single year in American history. This is our demographic reality. So the question is, how do we balance money and the ability to pay for 65 million plus? And here are the questions. So basically, you have three options. You can make people who are on the program pay more. You can make taxpayers who support the program pay more. You can or pay the health care providers less. We don't have a single solution today. We don't have a silver bullet. That's the candid reality. This isn't going to be where the head of the CMS or HHS is able to simply wave a magic wand and make all three come true. It will require changes in legislation if it's talking about increasing taxes. For me, this really actually is two, not three. Because for me, it's you make the people who are on the program pay more, you make taxpayers who support the program pay more. That's basically number one, right? Which is that you can make the people who are either paying into Medicare in some form, whether that be in taxes or in premiums, pay more. The second set is you can pay health care providers less. And it's not only doctors and hospitals. It's pharmaceuticals. It can be insurance companies. In other words, all of the ecosystem, the different stakeholders can be paid less. The issue, of course, is that people will be considered something a cut. And now you see, okay, now I get to pack my mud. Which is each side is busy going like this. They're cutting. They're cutting. They're cutting. They know that 65 million people are, in general, very satisfied with Medicare. The way to get elected, the way to prevent being unelected, is to go, that person's to blame for cuts or the difficult choices that face the Medicare system. The fact is, you're not getting away from 65 million. That makes it a world of tough choices, imperfect choices. People make financial choices all the time. Every time I present in public, I tell them the following: that healthcare delivery in the United States is so complicated that you can literally choose any side. I'll simply take the other side for argument's sake. We'll debate for 12 hours. We will be at the same place. I don't care what position you take. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your philosophy of government in American life is. You can take your stance. I'll take the equal and opposite stance, just for argument's sake. We'll get nowhere. I don't think that anyone dares to debate me live. I'd be happy to, because I'd be pointing out the contradictions that sit when people start saying this is best, that's best, never this, never that. Just simply take the other side and get them right to a stalemate, and actually exhibit the contradictions that they are using when they're presenting it to you. This, to me, is terrible, because it obscures, it blurs the choices that you should make for yourself with your money to protect your own health to the degree that you desire, to the degree that fits your budget. That you need to consider the political ramifications of the fact of demographic and fiscal challenges that face us. And can that be incorporated into your choice? Yes. I'm going to tell you the answer to that is yes. We're going to cover it in a few moments. That all said, the idea that politics is infused here first is kind of incredible. I can fix most everyone's approach. I've gone to great lengths to try to do so. If you're going to infuse philosophy or politics into what is best for you regarding Medicare, there's a divide that I may not be able to solve. If you start with a blank piece of paper and know nothing about Medicare, you're safe. You can have one question. You can have 1,000 questions. If you're going to make your Medicare selection based on your political or philosophical views, I'm just going to say that if you get to the right answer, that'll be luck. It is not going to be because you have a philosophy, therefore you got to the right Medicare solution for you. That is you being fooled by randomness. See, I was political party A, therefore I chose a Medicare configuration, and it turned right. See, I was right. I can't even say that with a straight face. This is what people are doing. It never fails. Someone says, oh, well, I'm never going to do that because the insurance company makes money. Do you realize when you trade in your car for a new car that the salesperson who has helped you makes money? Did you know the same thing when you buy a new house? Or you sell your house, that the agent, the real estate agent, the licensed real estate agent makes money? These are examples of my second error, which is simply that people have one set of knowledge. They know it's true. They know when they buy a car, the car salesperson makes money. They know when you sell your house, the real estate agent makes money. They do it anyway because that is the structure that was handed. But no, we're not going to select Medicare Advantage, even though it's most efficient for you, because the Medicare Advantage carrier makes money. We used one set of logic for the first two. It was easy. Yet we change course, discard that logic, and apply some other set of logic for the third topic. Why? That makes no rational common sense. I believe that people have common sense. The question is, do the politics matter when you're choosing your Medicare configuration? Whether that be your retiree plan, whether that be Medicare Advantage, whether that be Medigap. The most important thing is to understand what I've stated in Maximize Your Medicare for over a decade. Medicare Advantage and Part D are annual contracts. That means every single line item can change every single year. That has largely worked in the consumer's favor as a result of the tight, very brutal competition. And in addition to that, the federal government has sent more money to Medicare Advantage plans by which they can configure their package of benefits for you. It also means that could it reverse course? The answer to that is yes. In theory, it is yes. And the simple reason is annual contract. I don't have a crystal ball regarding politics. I don't have a fiscal ball regarding the federal budget. What I can say is that due to the nature of Medicare Advantage, that you are subject to the ups and downs. In exchange for that, you'd pay a lower premium on a monthly basis. I can certainly find you a Medicare Advantage plan which costs $0 a month. You need to be enrolled in Part A and Part B. When it comes to Medigap, the fact is that I've stated two words, standardized and grandfathered. Ultimately, this means the contract is stable through time. There's no question about the changing coverage. There is no change in coverage. There's no need to renew. There is no network. These two differences are inherent. They are built in. They're not going to change. The consumer is there to decide which one of these two different configurations is best for them, their health situation, their own personal, private financial reality. We don't know the result of the political football that will be hurled around in every direction. I've gone to great lengths to say that the stakeholders, the huge stakeholders involved in the healthcare delivery system, are complicated and will have reasonable, rational points of view given their perspective. In other words, where you stand depends on where you sit. We can accuse Medicare Advantage carriers of this or that or the other. Candidly speaking, I think that there's always a flip side to that same coin, meaning that in our society, we always point to the extreme negative in order to get clicks. No one says, hey, I saved $1,800 running for 10 years during the ages of 65 to 75 when I remained to be Mr. or Miss Perfect. That is boring. That doesn't get any clicks. However, if Mr. or Miss Perfect lives on Social Security alone, has no retirement savings, that $1,800 represents groceries. Even with these differences that I just mentioned, the $1,800 to that particular household may be vital. Back and forth the logic will go, meaning that, okay, that's fine until 75. What about when you're 85? For certain households, they don't have the luxury of thinking through something that may or may not occur in 20 years. They need the groceries today. Does that mean that I'm saying that every person who has no retirement savings should be on Medicare Advantage? No, I'm not saying that either. There are other nuances involved. You could live in a location where the networks are so fragmented that you can't access the healthcare providers that you need in order to maintain your health. What you don't have here is, okay, well, if you're a Republican, then you choose this configuration, or if you're a Democrat, you choose this configuration. If you're a capitalist, this configuration. If you're a socialist, this configuration. I promise you, that's nowhere in this book. Nowhere. And where else is it absent? The applications for either Medicare Advantage or Medigap. It's nowhere in there. The carriers don't care. And the simple reason is this is an agreement for a financial contract. So to be distracted by the political football which is being hurled around and which will continue to be hurled around the last 3 months, incredibly noisy. Hopefully you've liked today. Be sure to like, subscribe, tell someone else about Maximize Your Medicare, tell someone else about this channel if you've liked it.